everyone, and welcome to our garden. My name is Maude, and Keith is my cool cat who's done a runner, so he's still going to be somewhere in the video, probably a bit later. But we garden in a UK coastal climate, and probably the equivalent to USDA Zone 9A. And I'm really excited today for a couple of reasons. One, I bought more plants, so that's a really good reason to be excited. And the other one is because we actually have some sunshine, and I feel really good about it. So there's a couple things that we're going to be doing today. We are going to be finishing up the front step. I very poorly swap out my front pots with new plants. Quite often I tend to leave stuff for a really long time. And so for that reason, I planted up the front of my pots on the front step, and I'll show you just a second. But I planted those up, and I've tried to put things that are permanent, so in 2 of the containers. And that means that I only have to have 1 pot that's seasonal. I think that's quite clever because it means I don't have to spend as much money to kind of refresh the front. And one of the things that I'm challenging myself to do this year is to make sure that I do a holiday wreath for as many holidays as I possibly can. So I currently have the door set up for Valentine's Day, and if you don't know anything about this channel or me, I always try to do either found or kind of thrifted things in my wreaths. So it's kind of a challenge from a creativity point of view to make sure that I can kind of just have a bit of fun, go out into the woods, collect a bunch of things, rummage around in the attic, and kind of pull together a wreath, and you kind of end up with some interesting combinations, and it's really fun. And usually it also means that everything that I'm putting onto the wreath I just kind of mulch up and throw right into my compost bin. So I'm going to be refreshing one of the pots on the front. I'm going to show you what the front looks like, and I may also cut back my kind of grasses that are in the front as well. So if you like a little bit of gardening, coastal gardening, woodland gardening, gardening with a cat, then kind of follow along and see what we get up to. But I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the plants that we picked up. Oh, and I love conifers, so I've picked up a few more conifers. All right, see you in a bit. Here he is. He's come back. Hey, Keith, what are you doing? Where were you off to? Okay, so I'm gonna show you what's in the box. I'm quite excited. So this is conifers, and we'll come on to that in just a second. This is what I'm going to be putting in the pot in the front, and I'm quite excited about it. So let me just explain what I have. So I have some Primrose Vulgaris, which is just this kind of really lovely primrose, and this one's called Yellow Cream. I picked this up at Dobbies, and what I really like to do is some primroses have a scent stronger than others, and I absolutely adore the scent of primrose. And before I met Mr. Maude, I used to, in the spring, I'd buy one of these, and I'd keep it by my bed, and I just loved kind of waking up and smelling it. So this is a really beautiful plant. It's very lovely. I have some of this in the garden already. I have to be a bit careful with this because the slugs won't touch the leaves, but they will eat the flowers off, and that is really frustrating. And a really good example of this, which is why me and the slugs are about to go boxing, is look, this could be so beautiful and in flower, and you know, what a shame. So I actually have some slug repellent I'm going to be using around some of these plants. So I've tried the natural stuff and the coffee, and what I'm using is organic. But I can't keep buying plants. You know, one of the things for pest control is to build up biodiversity. Check, working on it. However, I also need to make sure the things that I'm doing to help build up biodiversity actually don't just benefit the slugs. So anyway, so this is Primrose Vulgaris. Oh, here we go. Here's a snail. And you can see that the leaves on here. So here's a little snail, that little guy. Just send him on a little vacation that way. You can see that they have eaten the leaves on this one, but this is kind of the last thing to go. They really do go for the flowers first, and this is probably my own fault, because these have kind of been covered over. I mean, look at this. Makes me want to cry. There's another one. You know, the annoying thing is, though, is they just look so cute. They really do. But they're just so destructive. So, anyway, so this is Primrose Vulgaris. This is a standard kind of yellow color. It's really beautiful if it blooms. But this one is called Yellow Cream, and it's got this kind of orange kind of center with kind of a buttercream margin and a hot pink kind of cutting around the petals. And also the fragrance is absolutely amazing. So I love that. And these were probably about £2.99 each, and I only picked up 3 of them because the pot that they're going in is quite small. But I also thought I would put some spring bulbs in as well. And one of the things, if you are organized and a better gardener than me, you could buy the bulbs and it would be cheaper. But I didn't think that this was a bad deal because there's about 36 crocuses in here. And this one is called Romance, and it's got a soft kind of butter color. So I just thought it worked really well, and it looked very cheerful. And I thought it would kind of see me through from now into Easter. And then what I'll be doing with all of these products when I change that pot over is I'll just put them somewhere else in the landscape for the slugs to just eat the leaves down. Now I'm hoping that my copper tape that I've put around this pot that I'm changing is actually still good. So copper tape is a good way of adding a bit of slug deterrent. Apparently they don't like it and they kind of fall off of it, etc. I don't know. I don't think anything really works against slugs, if I'm being honest. Okay, friends, I am done, I think, for today. Well, maybe not. Look how cute. So we have the Romance Crocus, which is a yellow, and then we have the yellow cream Primrose with the hot pink, and this one smells really good with the other planters. I did have one pot of crocus left, so just pop them there for a bit of continuity of color. And then I'll put a little bit of slug repellent in there just to make sure there's blooms. So I think that looks really kind of nice and buttoned up. I think I may have mentioned it in a previous video, I'm not sure, but I think maybe this summer when it dries up, I think I'm actually going to paint the concrete steps. I don't know, tell me what you think, but I think I'm thinking black with a big wide stripe like a runner down both sides would be quite effective and just kind of tidy. Unless you've got some other ideas. I mean, long term, probably tile it or something, but I just think a bit of paint would help tidy it up. And I want to, in the summer, lower this wall. I want to take it to probably about there. That way, if there are animals that are peeing on it, they're not kind of going into my bed. And then I want to take a row of these bricks, these soldier bricks like this. Like what I have on the planters here, and actually cap it with that rather than whatever this is. This looks like it had another kind of capping stone at some point that it's all kind of come off, and it's just these little water puddles, which I'm not a big fan of. And it's so nice to see the sun out. Isn't that lovely? Really nice. This stiff weeper, Larix, should be coming into bud soon. This one is about to come into bud soon. This one I want to get a little bit bigger. I think I may have already covered that. And then I've gone through and I've cut back the ornamental grasses. I think that's a pennisetum rubrum. Sometimes I get my names for the grasses mixed up, but it's definitely rubrum. It's got a really lovely kind of purple color, and I think it's a little too small to divide, but I think at the end of this year, I'm going to divide it and kind of fill this kind of space up with those ornamental grasses. I quite like that look. And then here, there, and there, I've got another ornamental grass, which is called heavy metal. And I can't remember the name of it, which is so odd. But I'll pop it up on the screen. One of the things that I haven't done yet is cut back the hydrangea, so the hydrangea macrophylla, which is some people call it a mop head. I've left that because we still might get a couple of cold nights still, and a few more frosts. And I've kind of tidied everything else up. I do need to probably get in and shape up this Japanese Acer, because I don't want it growing into this. I want it to kind of grow up and over, but I'm going to let it do its thing now. I'm not going to cut it yet. And in here, this whole section, I've got a bit of sedum. It grows so fast. I think this one's Autumn Joy, and I do like it. But I do kind of think long term, I'm probably going to push that further back somewhere, maybe in this section here, and then permanently stake it, because it does get a bit floppy. We get quite a lot of rain, and I mean, it's lovely, because when I lower this wall, I've got this Berberis darwinii, which has an orange flower on it, and these little tiny holly leaves in this really lovely dark green. I kind of want to just do a low hedge of that kind of curves over. That way it kind of, well, it's prickly, so it'll keep animals from jumping into my flower beds and people. And, then just kind of fill in this space with probably some nicer perennials, and then move these autumn joys a little bit further back. I think also as well, by taking the wall down, that will give a bit more light. I've got a couple of things that I'm excited about for spring and flower. So I've got the magnolia fairy bush that'll be flowering soon. I've got the Crinodin hookerina, which is the Chilean lantern. That's about to flower soon. And it looks like my really sad euphorbia Do tell if you know why it is doing this stretching. Is it not enough sun? Do I have the soil conditions wrong? I need to look that up. I mean, I don't hate it, but I've had it fuller before. And then I've got some Percy Weisman rhododendrons in the back. They have a really lovely kind of pink color. And then one of the things that you saw me cutting back is a St. John's wort. I'm just trying to do a kind of a low curve hedge of St. John's wort. It's got a really lovely yellow flower. And I need to divide these grasses. I've got one here. And I did think about maybe moving this one to in this gap here because it can get quite big. So I think it would compete in that back space. And I've left the hollyhocks that get 20 feet tall in here. I don't know if I'm going to leave them in this bed forever. And you can see now that I've cut everything back, you can see the topiaries. So this should be, just to kind of give some color through. So I want this one to be kind of big and fat and just kind of sit at the base of this. Then we have the swirl, which will get much bigger. And then on this side, I'm going to try to repeat that shape here. So again, it's got some evergreen kind of structure. And there's another ball, which you can't really see, but you should be able to see when the wall comes down. So I'm quite excited about that. One of the things that I haven't shown yet, and I'm a little underwhelmed, but it's starting to flower now, so I'm going to get over myself, is my witch hazel. So this is Hamamelis Jelena, and it's got this really lovely kind of orangey, kind of red, yellow, kind of petals, and it's about to be covered. I cannot wait for this to get some proper size on it, because it's just a really nice kind of winter flowering option, and I've got a couple of new shoots. So I want this to get kind of big and bushy, and to be honest, it can get as big as it wants because it's just a really nice feature in the winter garden. So I think that's pretty much everything. I'm going to leave the hydrangeas for now. I've got the magnolia that's going to be flowering. So there's quite a lot of kind of spring, summer things flowering in here. But I want to kind of pepper in some more perennials, I think, just to really see us through to autumn. And of course we have the autumn joy, which is the sedum and that kind of flowers. But overall, from a structure point of view, it is looking much better. And did I say we had sunshine? We have sunshine. So I'm really excited. Keith's enjoying it too. I'm outside in a t-shirt and jumper. Lavender, I do have a couple of dead spots in this. I'm hoping that long term it fills in. I'm a bit disappointed. I kind of left it a little too late, but I can always replant it. It's not that big of a deal. How stinking cute and cheerful and smells delicious. Come on, Keith, let's go in. Let's get breakfast.